Audio Jungle.
This GoldenGate can work even on the multiple levels. The GoldenGate can transfer the stuff on its multiple layers, which there is no doubt that active data guard or any other data guard feature cannot do for you, because data guard comes free of cost. It's, if we talk about the physical standby and the logical standby, they come free of cost with the database license. So most of the people have myth that whatever they can do with the GoldenGate, they can similar things they can do with the standby. It's not correct. With the GoldenGate technology, you can do much more that you can do with the standby databases, or you can do with the data guard. That's free of cost, and this is paid anyway.
So we'll be covering these scenarios during our session. Actually, these are offloading and multi-master.
We will be taking the offloading. We will be taking the bidirectional. This because the lack of sites and the lack of machines that we are going to run at a time. So the course will be handling the active-active configuration for high availability, plus unidirectional query offloading. These data marts, warehouse distribution, they are very similar. The similar kind of commands are going to be used. Just only difference is the number of places where you will execute the commands. They will be more that time. Command will be given to you in the very first kind of replication, which is query offloading, which is going to be one-side replication. So we will start from one side, and then we will go to bidirectional replication down the line with our course.
Okay.
In this course, the things that we are going to cover, I've just stopped the display, the broadcast. The things that we are going to cover that are going to be, first of all, the introduction to the data guard. The second, we will be covering the total technology, overview, that what are the components of GoldenGate, what is extract, what is extract process, and what is the master, which is the slave. Then what is the trail file, and what kind of trails are created, how the replicate process works, how the replications are going to work for you, which of the platforms are supported, and some more things into the product line of GoldenGate. What other products come with GoldenGate? For example, there is a tool for GoldenGate which is known as GoldenGate Veridata, Oracle GoldenGate Veridata. That tool will not be included in this course, because that is a separate course and a separate product, requires a separate license than the GoldenGate license. That tool, what that does, its work is to monitor that everything is working in sync, speed is correct, synchronization is correct, and latency is not much, such kind of thing. That Veridata tool can display it graphically. So tomorrow we are going to see one of the snapshot of Veridata tool, and however that will not be covered in this course, because that's a separate training and a separate tool, and all the companies are not buying Veridata because of excessive cost. The similar things can be done by the command lines. So that's why people try to go for command line in order to save their licensing cost. Other tool is GoldenGate Director that comes. GoldenGate Director is also a GUI kind of tool. Just it feels like SQL developer. Just have a look and feel like that. But yes, that will also not be covered in this course. That's a separate training. Plus, that is a separate licensed product that does not come under the GoldenGate license. So that's why it is also not covered in this part of our course. So the third thing is GoldenGate Monitor for the monitoring purpose. That's also another tool that is separately licensed, separately paid. And one more thing, we are going to have a discussion on the EM12C, that how you can monitor the GoldenGate topology with Enterprise Manager 12C. So these are the things that we are going to discuss tomorrow in the very beginning of the session. Then we have another things that we will be discussing, the architecture of GoldenGate, that what are the components, how the process groups work, which kind of files are created, how you can configure multiple extract processes, what is initial load, what are the checkpoints that you can create. So similar things we are going to discuss, and a lot more kind of utility that we have for GoldenGate, GGSCI. For GoldenGate, similar utilities that we use for database SQL Plus to manage the database. The similar thing you use in GoldenGate, GGSCI, GoldenGate Software Command Interface. So that's another utility which you need to get familiar in this course, and you will get by the end of this course the commands and the similar things you are going to use even in your production environment. A different kind of extracts we will be talking about, the approaches, classic extract, integrated extracts, and many more things we will be discussing in this. Another thing that we will be after that, tomorrow we will be discussing, not tomorrow, it will be day after or next to that, the installation of GoldenGate, that how the GoldenGate software will be installed, what are the system requirements, from where you can download it, which versions are supported, which operating systems are supported, how much RAM or how much memory is required for each process. So these kind of things, the network requirements, these things we will be discussing over the GoldenGate, and I will be showing you the installation of GoldenGate as well. Okay.
For that GoldenGate, do I need to install Oracle 11G or 12C on my machine before you install the GoldenGate?
11G.
Should I go ahead and install 11G on Linux server? I can make a VMware and install the 11G.
Yes, just install the 11G database on that machine, and the GoldenGate installation we will be doing it by
How
the
much RAM should I keep aside? I have a 32 gigs RAM.
Oh, that's great. So you can allocate initially 5 or 6 gigs to the machine, and you can go.
I'm going to allocate 6 GB while doing the installation of Oracle.
Yes. Okay. That would be a great number.
How much space do you need?
Space, the installation, you can, if you are doing it virtually, you can create 200 GB virtual disk, and that would be good enough for doing everything.
I think 200 GB will be a lot actually.
Yes, that's why there should not be any kind of trouble by doing. Otherwise, it works even in 100 GB, because anyway the Oracle installation will be not taking over 29 GBs even with the clusterware, and that can be done in 10 GB as well. So you can configure 50, 100 or 200 as you want, no problem. Because GoldenGate is not very heavy software like clusterware. It's going to be a very small software which will be installed within just as soon as you will hit enter, the GoldenGate will be installed. So that's extremely fast. That's just zipping and unzipping. So that's why I'm saying whatever you do standard configuration, similar you can do here. The GoldenGate is not going to be going to put much load over your machine. All right. Okay. Then we will be discussing the character set, the object name, the permissions, and little network troubleshooting down the line in one of our session. And after that, we will be doing the change capture, that how you can start the extract process, the primary extract and the secondary extract, how this technology is going to work. Extract is the process who's anyway going to read the messages, or you can see the read the actual change records from primary, and then will be applied to the standby. Then further you will be configuring in one of our session the replicate process, that how the replicate process is going to be started over the remote, and how the things are going to be applied, and that will be done with the pump process, which is also known as data pump. We will be seeing many files down the line, including your extract or any other file distributions. We will be talking about different formats of the file which are created in GoldenGate. We are going to talk about the local and remote trails. We are going to talk about their formats. It can be in ASCII, it can be SQL or XML. So these kind of things we are also going to discuss down the line. We will be then configuring some initial load, that by the time you want to set up the server, how you can do, and if this is the first time that you are migrating to GoldenGate, how you can work on it. We will also be discussing about the parameters of GoldenGate, which you can specify to change the default configuration as per what you want. So we have the parameter file in GoldenGate similar to the parameter file of the database. So just the concept is same. We pass parameters there, we pass parameters here as well. So whatever parameters you want to change, you can change the parameter for the manager process or any other. You can change globals. That even we will see down the line when we will discuss the globals and all that the concepts. You can also enable some kind of filtering with comparison operators, that I do not want to replicate this, or I want to replicate this specific column. You can provide and or operators. So such kind of things are also going to be discussed in one of our sessions. We will also be discussing some macros that you can configure. Macro is when you want to automate something. So we will also have a topic of macro. We will also have a topic of tokens, which are used in database security products as well. Token is basically the context area of a user. Have you worked over the database vault?
Database what?
Yeah, database vault.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because in database vault, we work with context area of the user, that as soon as a user logs in, all his session details, including his IP, his operating system, kernel version, everything is loaded from his session header into the database. So such kind of token we are also going to see in the GoldenGate for if we want to restrict someone, that this particular request from this particular IP I do not want to entertain. So I can simply blacklist that particular address. So that kind of things we are also going to talk. Then we will be talking in the final lessons, we will be talking about the bidirectional configuration and how the bidirectional configuration works, what kind of issues can prevent bidirectional, and how you can resolve the conflicts, if any. So these are the things, and one of the chapter we are going to talk about, that will be the DDL replication, that how the DDL statements can be replicated, what are the requirements for that, what kind of restrictions you may have over the DDL. So this is going to be the overall content of this GoldenGate course of ours, and I hope the rack content we have already discussed in the previous session. Have we?
Right.
Right. So this is going to be what we have, and I will be also showing you the demos over my virtual machines. You can also configure your virtual machine side by side, and we will be doing the labs. With the class you can see what I'm doing, and later with the recording, I'll be uploading the recording of the session on the Google Drive, and from there you can download and view, and side by side you can perform it once again. So this is how the class flow is going to be. I hope that would be satisfactory for you.
Yeah, that sounds good to me actually. That sounds good. And how many classes are we planning for just the GoldenGate?
Just for GoldenGate, we will be requiring 10 to 15 sessions, depending on now how. If your machine is just identical of mine, the things will be faster. Otherwise, it may get a bit slower. So just imagining a round figure of 10 to 15 classes. It may be 12, 13, or it may be 11 or 14. So just for the round figure.
Okay.
Okay. And in rack, we have already discussed in the previous session that we will be having 5 virtual machines that we will take together, and we will discuss further. So now I'll yes, Satvinder, anything else you want to ask for today, because we will be starting the session on GoldenGate by tomorrow.
No, I think that's pretty much sounds good to me. If something comes up, I will definitely bring into your
Sure,
note.
sure, sure. Please feel free to contact in case of any help. I'll be sharing my email ID with you as well, so that in case after the class you have any kind of requirements or if you get stuck somewhere, you may write down to me and I'll be reverting on that.
That sounds good to
So
me.
yes, that we'll be doing from tomorrow. And now, if you want to be in the session for the rack part demo, because I just need to demonstrate Asma that how is it's going to work for us. You can be in the session, or if you want to leave the session for now, then I'm going to list you the topics, and I will explain you in each topic what you will learn, and then you will understand how it's going to be, really useful when you will work in production. And this
Okay.
training, because I'm telling you, this training is going to be completely practical, intensive training. I do
Perfect.
not deliver, theoretical training so much, and I can't even speak for long with just theory.
Okay.
I show what I say. So that's what we are going to have in this course. I hope you can see one notepad document on your screen. I've just shared.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So these are the topics that we are going to cover in this course. First is going to be the grid infrastructure architecture. Architecture will hold the total architecture of a rack, its background processes, because process structure is very important to understand in order to troubleshoot. Unless
Yep.
until we don't know the processes, the troubleshooting will never be done. So
Yep.
there are over uh, 12 or 15 major processes which will be required for troubleshooting, and in the total architecture you will be seeing almost over 30 processes. So what is the part of each process and how each process is going to work and how each process is going to behave, that's what we are going to discuss in grid infrastructure, plus the services that grid infrastructure provides you, for example Oracle Restart and other stuff. Everything we will be discussing in this architecture.
Yeah.
Other thing that we are going to discuss is the grid infrastructure installation. So I hope you must have done the grid infrastructure installation before, right? For standalone
Yep.
server.
Yeah.
Yes. So this time it is going for rack, where you will be configuring the scan and other thing. And now for the installation, it is going to be from scratch. I will be giving you, or you will be getting from their side, what I have shared the machine template. I have a 5-node rack for training, okay, in which
Okay.
there will be 3 nodes of database, 1 node of storage, which is configured on OpenFiler, which is a shared storage. Anyway, you are not going to work on the storage because that doesn't come under the job profile of a DBA. But yes, there will be 1 machine of storage, and 1 is going to be the network machine, DNS server. So on the total, 5 machines will be running virtually over your server. For that, you will be requiring at least a RAM of 16 gigabytes over your desktop or laptop, whatever you are using. 16 GB we require for this training, at least.
Okay.
If it is
Okay.
32, that will run. And even though I have on my laptop 16 gigs of RAM,
Okay.
so on the total, it's going to be a 5-node cluster with 3 DB nodes, 1 storage, and 1 DNS.
Okay.
With grid infrastructure installation, you will be starting up the things from the scratch on the DB part, on the DB nodes, on all the 3 nodes, because network and OpenFiler will be configured, will be pre-configured for you, since that is not the job profile of a DBA. The database machines are completely the job of a DBA, so that's why you will be configuring and making them up from the scratch, including creation of user groups, including kernel settings, sysctl and all, including the hard and soft limits, and many more things what you do in the as a part of prerequisite that we are going to discuss in the installation. And then you will be working with the scan, some GNS kind of concepts that we will discuss down the line with the architecture, and you will be doing the grid infrastructure installation. Then once installation is successfully completed, you have another topic of administration of clusterware using enterprise manager and command line both. So we will be taking the CRSCTL, SRVCTL commands, which are personally my favorite, which I prefer to use, CRI-CTL, SRV-CTL, to monitor and to administer the things. I will also show you down the line the enterprise manager. This EM is going to be the database control, not the grid control. Okay. So enterprise manager, database control, because in rack it gives you a separate interface to manage the clusterware. So that you will see in enterprise manager, that it is providing a separate console, separate page for the clusterware, the administration activities. Then after administration, we will be with the commands, you will be adding the node into the rack cluster. For example, initially what we are going to do, initially we will configure the rack on first 2 nodes. Then here we will be add third node in that particular cluster. After successfully adding, I will show you how to delete that node with the commands, okay, from the cluster. And later we will just add back that node, so that we have 3 node cluster, and add a node and add back a node. They are different in their procedure. So I will be showing you practically everything. If you will follow the same step in your real-time production environment, till date we are using the same steps, so you can understand that those are going to be the industry level steps. So you will get a step-by-step procedure of adding the node even in your real-time environment. So it's just going to be identical. Only the names will be changed. The command is going to be common. Okay. Then further we have troubleshooting of Oracle cluster, where we are going to see, where we will see which kind of failures can occur on the way, and which kind of which log files needs to be monitored and checked for any sort of failures, from where you will diagnose the issue and how you will fix the issue. Also, we will be discussing, I just missed here, with administration part. Here, we will also be discussing the concept of OCR, Oracle Cluster Registry, the voting files, the node heartbeat, the network heartbeat, storage heartbeat, the IO fencing, node monitoring, many services. So that's also we are going to discuss with the administration part. And coming down to this point number 6, we are going to have a topic of managing the server pools, where you configure the resources for your databases and you play with the server pools in real time. Because in 11G we have 2 kind of databases, policy managed and admin managed. In admin managed, you define exactly where do you need to run the database. With policy managed, you define that on which server pool, because that pool is a logical group of different servers. So you will not define the exact server, that node 1 or node 2. You will simply define in that pool. So now in the pool there may be 3. You want to run it over 1. So Oracle will decide, cluster will decide, excuse me, which one is the best node for running that particular database. Okay. So that's what we are going to discuss in the server pool topic number 6. Then we have the ASM stack, because the rack is completely dependent and based over ASM. Even tomorrow, because these days your market is running behind Exadata, we have also just last month we have bought Oracle Exadata X5 for our bank. So the X5 or X3, whatever machine you work, that works with ASM and rack. So to understand and to know the ASM by heart is important, and even this course is going to use the ASM as the shared disk group or shared storage, which will be configured obviously over the open file. So, and how the ASM instances will be administered, how the disk groups will be administered, and how you will work with the directories of ASM, that we will see. I hope you are already aware of these topics, and it must be sounding basic to you since you have a rich experience. So, but still we will go through from it. It may be a fast session if you are already aware of these certain topics.
Sure.
Then further, we have the rack database installation, where we will see that how the installation is done of a database in rack environment. When you have multiple nodes, how you will do multi-node installation with the rack, and then you will see how the multi-node RAC database is created. Now in RAC, it's not important that you always have multiple node databases. You can also have a standalone running on one node, or you can configure database on multiple nodes. So I will be showing you which kind of options are available for you to work with RAC one node or RAC database. Then later you will see that how the backups and recoveries are performed in RAC, because they are little chain. Now when you take backup is done in common or in parallel. So how the parallelism is done and how you can monitor, I will show you a live demo. See, whatever topics I am here stating, everything I will show you practically. Not even a single topic you are going to see in theory. Okay, each thing will come as practical, and you will see different forms of backups and how to monitor that. Recovery is going to be common in RAC environment. Commands are even common for backup as well, just monitoring is different. RAC database monitoring and tuning, then you will talk about cache fusion kind of stuff and how you can tune the environment, what kind of wait events you may see in RAC. So these things we are going to discuss in the second last topic of us. And in the last topic, we are going to talk about Oracle services with the TAF and FAN enabled. TAF is one of the biggest reason why we use RAC in real time, because we use RAC for high availability. I always classify high availability in three types. That one high availability is known as high availability of data. Second high availability is known as high availability of applications, and third is known as high availability of the database. So high availability of data is provided to you by data guard. Okay, where you configure a standby server. For example, primary you have configured in Canada, standby you have configured in USA. So such kind of configuration you can enable. So if primary storage is down, you have standby. That is actually to prevent from any kind of crashes or any kind of natural disaster or any other problem. Then high availability of applications is provided to you by RAC. That means when the application is running on one instance and instance crashes, all the users which were connected to that application, they will automatically be failed over with the application to the another running instance. So that is known as TAF, transparent application failover. I will show you live how TAF is working. Okay, so how the services will be configured, that we will see. TAF we will see. The third availability, I told you, high availability of database. That is actually a combination when you configure MA, maximum availability architecture, to combine Oracle Data Guard plus Oracle RAC. So when you will configure both of them together, you will get the complete high availability for the data as well as the application. So that is known as high availability of database. All right. And the final thing we will be discussing with the services is going to be FAN, fast application notification. This is actually to raise the notification for the clients like those who are using JDBC connections or the .NET clients with ODP or .NET. So how the entries are going to be listed in the TNS and how you will enable the FAN. So these are the topics which are this course content is actually industry standard. This is the same thing that all the DBAs are doing in real time. So that's how this is aligned to the requirement which you have currently. Yes, and now in case whatever questions you have, you can please ask.
Yeah, first of all, this particular environment. So this environment would be on Linux, Windows, or Solaris?
Yeah, the good question. This environment is going to be made on Linux. So it's going to be a complete Linux platform where we are going to work for this classroom.
Okay. So